Everybody loves a hero. People line up for them, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer. I believe there's a hero in all of us that keeps us honest, gives us strength, makes us noble, and finally allows us to die with pride.
Let's go.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten.
Lighting up our lives. Patio lanterns.
Patio lanterns.
Come on now, we're back. We're back after another brief hiatus, another little 3-week break. Sorry, folks. I guess we got weddings to attend. We got trail runs all over the country. Is the cuck chair new in your space there, Ryan?
Yeah, the cuck chair has always been here. It's just I reserve it for guests of the show to come in at this new place. You know, maybe they can kind of chime in over my shoulder, kind of peer in.
We should really
open invitation for any of the Lanternites watching right now.
You know, check the corrupt Czech media. They run, I think they still do this. They run an online auction every November. We could auction off a chance to watch the recording of an episode of Patio Lanterns, and this winner, or the winning bidder, will get the chance to drive themselves to Nelson and come and sit in your cuck chair and watch the recording live.
What an honor that would be. I can only imagine how much money it would raise for various charities. Definitely not going to Czech media's pockets.
So how was the wedding this time?
Yeah, great wedding. Friend of the show, Kent McDonald. I think he was on maybe in
the live episode
2019.
He did.
Even. Yeah, it was a grand old wedding. Great stuff. Love to see it. Beautiful spot, beautiful people, good little dance floor. Yeah, a couple wobbly pops, and you know, I'm out there moving and grooving. That's all right. A real highlight for me that I think you'd find funny beyond the usual wedding festivities is that when it came to go eat after the ceremony, it was like, okay, we have this buffet style, so we'll call by table, except for Ryan Rancher. Ryan Rancher, you got to go first, and then the bride and groom, and then the wedding party. So there it was because I was gluten-free. But I like to
You're the only one?
There was one other person, Emily, but she wasn't there at that exact moment. So her husband came with me and was trying to pick like the exact pieces that I was to try and make the right plate, but it just wasn't it. It wasn't the right plate. It was like a couple cold cuts and a salad. It's what she got. She actually had to go back.
So because it's obviously served separately.
No, serve yourself. So it was like the idea is that I get in there before anyone has the potential to cross contaminate.
What are they?
Tongs.
Oh, the tongs. They put them the straight.
That's my guess. That's what I'm thinking. Also, they love me, obviously, so they think, you know, Ryan, bride and groom, wedding party, like it.
Does gluten-free food cool faster potentially? Does the gluten retain heat?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it's better for the buffets. They love it. They love that sprinkle a little of that zhuzh in there.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised that you were like really the only one, and then I was just thinking of other restrictions, but I guess that the other ones
they got their own separate plate. Like if there was like
a
nut allergy, they just got their own plate.
Oh,
and I guess I could have requested that, but here I am, just everyone watching me.
They're not really taking it seriously.
I'm not.
No, the people as a whole, society is not really taking the gluten allergy seriously. When I hear gluten allergy and I hear peanut allergy, very, very different. Now, I yell that out loud at a restaurant. Very different reactions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die, I guess, is the threshold. Part of me dies when I poop my pants, but maybe that's just not as serious. I love and hate how it's a fad diet. It's amazing because every restaurant knows about it, but on the flip side, it's like there's people saying they have a gluten allergy and they don't. They just don't. And that waters down the seriousness of it.
Do you think it should be more exclusive of an allergy?
Absolutely, yeah.
Should you have like a card or have it on your driver's license or something?
Yeah, more exclusive. I don't know what the peanut people do, but yeah, maybe now that we're at the point where gluten-free stuff is socialized enough, we can start shaming others that are just they just feel better with it and they claim it's an allergy.
Yeah. Well,
Shame.
As I'm preparing for this episode, as I'm sitting in my rolly chair in my office, supposed to be working, but I'm just contemplating the episode recording to come. I'm thinking, how far back do we go? Do we go back to the very beginning? Do we pick up right where we left off after last episode, or do we just ignore like that missing week? We've got that extra week of buffer here now. Do we just ignore any events that happened in that first week so that we still stick with the 2-week content sample size?
Are you suggesting we skip over the Patio Lanterns retreat?
I'm suggesting that I don't know what to do, and I wasn't sure what you're planning to do since we don't talk between episodes. So do you want to get into the retreat a little bit?
I do. I think we should go over all 3 weeks. I want to hear about, now that you've had some time to reflect. Kurt and I went up to Gwillem Lakes for a certain backcountry adventure, and Kurt, is a famous mountaineer. He's climbed Everest after all. Yes. But somehow this is his first time bringing up his own goods. He was asking me if I could Sherpa all his things while he hiked ahead. And I said,
there's usually people or animals for that.
Yeah. I said, not today, bud. You're your own pack mule and get that fucking pack on you and start grinding. So yeah, Friday after work, Kurt was over in Nelson for a couple of days. We had a great little work from home collab sesh, as I like to refer to it as. Definitely working hard. Definitely was not at the beach in the afternoon. And what can I say? We got up to Gwillem Lakes. Beautiful, beautiful spot. After work, drive up there. We saw a lynx or bobcat and a black bear on the road. And then, a quick grind up to the top. Ain't nothing but a thing for us. And found ourselves a nice little tent pad.
We thought we might be a little early almost because there were reports of snow covering much of the ground up there by the campsite, but a week of warm weather does wonders, and it was happening out there on the trails. Lots of other hikers and campers.
Oh yeah, everyone, it's the place to be. I mean, that Saturday it really filled up. But yeah, I'm kind of curious more from your perspective, like since it's not as much in your BC playbook, how did you find our journey?
Our journey. It was nice to sleep together for sure up there under the stars. I found, like I told you, I had more so last week. Last week I had a week of horrible sleeps. I think I missed your farts. I think I missed the noise and
it's the altitude, everyone.
Yeah, I had the worst sleeps ever last week, but the journey was good. We picked a good one. I needed an achievement. I just don't want to go walking through any old forest. It needs to be spectacular. I didn't know you didn't mention this, but I climbed Everest, so I have a pretty high bar for hiking now. So we picked out a good one in Valhalla Provincial Park. If you're into Norse mythology, very exciting, very interesting.
Praise the All-Father.
Praise Odin. Yes, praise the All-Father. It was a good it was a good hike. We made it up there, 2.5 hours up there on the
Oh,
Friday.
yeah.
I think no problem at all. Tons of bugs, obviously. That was the only downside, is tons of mosquitoes. But a good grind up there, a good length. Beautiful campsite up at Gwillem Lakes. Even down below at, was it Wicca Wicca, right? That was nice. We didn't stay there, but we passed through there. That was nice too. But Gwillem Lakes was beautiful, and then from there you could go and do some day hikes, or I don't know, those other guys were doing Devil's
there's
Butthole.
people that do all these crazy like ascents once they get up there. Lucifer Peak, Devil's Butthole, all these mountains that just sound past our skill level. Let's be honest. That's leave that for the Everest folks. I was weighing Kurt down.
I finally got to join you on one of your kind of man-made hiking trails. You kind of just go with your gut, go with your instinct, and we didn't really get lost. Like, we didn't always exactly know the best way to get where we wanted to go, but we didn't get lost. It was pretty simple, and we made it up to our own peak, Friendship Mountain.
That's right.
So that
we discovered
it. Great views down below of the campsite and the valley and everything.
Would you because going off trail, I sense some hesitancy. It's like, Kurt, we're just gonna just start walking. We see that ridge up there, we're gonna get there. Right. And is there snow in the way? Maybe. I don't know. There was like another route we wanted to do to get onto this kind of shoulder between two peaks, and there was just too much snow in the way at that point. Middle of July, folks, too much snow. That just tells you we're up there. We're going.
Yeah, but no, it was no problem at all. I followed in your big footsteps. It was great. It was a good experience. Thanks for taking me under your wing. We had some good Annie's mac and cheese up there. Some good. We did the old dried food, the classic camper food. Really just beautiful. Even when we were out just a few minutes from our campsite, staring down into the valley. Really gorgeous. I think other campers were jealous of us a little bit, of like how much fun we were having, and like how like on the same page we were. Like, we were kind of like linked together. Like,
right.
I don't know how to like
I could tell they were jealous.
Yeah. So it was awesome. So what did we do? 2 nights, and then we had a quick hike down, ate a whole pizza.
Oh yeah.
On the Sunday. Beautiful.
I think we timed it perfectly because now it's Smoke City out there. I think a lot of people are going to be huffing and puffing out there on the trail this weekend. And you just kind of got to get out there early. It kind of turns from bug season to smoke season. Then you have a brief window in September when things are good. But then snow comes. So you get poison.
You tried to suggest this weekend, I think, when we were planning it. I said, let's get after it. And then we got after it, and it was perfect.
So it's smoky. The bugs were something else for sure. Like, it was just early season bugs, and you needed bug spray. Like, I'm not one who uses DEET lightly. Like, I'd just rather not use bug spray if I don't have to. A few bites are okay, but once you start to get swarmed, it's just like, okay, spray me.
Like, we were like standing still or sitting still, and they'd be like all over us.
The sunlight seems to scare them back to the hellish depths they came from, but it's just one of those things.
I was caking on the bug spray. I've always been one that gets lots of bites. I find more bites than the average person. And I'm not afraid to cake on the bug spray, even though I don't know how much it really helps. I think it helps a bit, and that's enough. And I just, it's like my cologne, that and sunscreen and nice concoction. And that was the unfortunate part, because it was hard to sometimes just mellow out.
Because we did have more of a chill day. We had like just chilling, and it does make it more difficult when you're getting swarmed to just we could have been suntanning or
I did not want to take my shirt off. I just keep my skin protected from the bugs. Yeah, Nelson was beautiful. It was nice to make my bi-yearly. I don't know how many times I go out these days, but it was a nice little trip out there for sure. So
One thing that I think the Lanternites would enjoy is that Kurt will not poop on the trail. I'm not sure how he survived Everest, but I've gone to this that one of the outhouses was overflowing, so I go to this other outhouse, and I'm having some pretty big movements up there in the mountains. Like I said, the pressure does something to your intestinal tract. My intestinal tract just pushes things out, and yeah, and then I go to Kurt, and there's been no movements. And we just keep on eating. We're having these dehydrated meals,
$5 foot long.
Yeah, you could just shovel down a foot long right after like a big meal that I cooked up a few hours before. And there's just, I'm like, how's this dude not like so bloated right now? Like, I don't get it.
I was starting to get a little bloated for sure.
Yeah,
especially on the Sunday. That does happen, but it's just yeah, like you said, you kind of have a blessing and a curse. So yeah, it's just, I'm not the only one. There's dozens of us that just, there's just a switch that like flicks when you're in your own home compared to being out in, mostly like more so like in public or in the outdoors kind of thing. My body's starting to get a little bit more comfortable with your home. I'm making good progress there. The key is to slowly, just one little bit at a time, to slowly kind of introduce your body to the new bathroom toilet experience. But yeah,
I was feel more safe. Like, would you like to see words like safety in the guest
bidet
bathroom?
would help.
Oh, bidet. But that's just for cleanup.
But knowing that it's there for me, it's like having, like, imagine like someone's there, you do the trust fall, where you close your eyes and fall backwards, and
Right.
your buddy's there to catch you. It's like, the bidet's there to wash you out after.
Okay.
It's yeah, the bidet is, I really miss it on long travels now when these countries don't have it. Everest. So Everest, obviously I didn't go 13, 15 days or whatever it was without pooping. But no, actually, no, they had bidets. It's depending on where we were.
They had little bidets?
Yeah, it's essential. It's
Are
like
they melting snow
it's
water?
like water, bidets, food, and then everything else. Like, they really bring up, the mules are packing up carrots and bidets. It's incredible. I mean,
impressive.
Yeah, big toilet paper has just absolutely taken
Dude,
over
I
North
still
America.
don't get it. It's just like I still got to use toilet paper after, so why?
Not nearly as much.
But still,
You are the exception. And
it's not made for hairy butts. You just got this.
No,
this
it is exactly made for hairy butts. That's where it saves you.
But then I got to use more toilet paper because there's all this wetness.
No. You take the right poop.
How am I supposed to let it dry?
Piles and piles of toilet paper on its own. Bidet it, blast it, and then a little bit of toilet paper. It can be a huge.
It's never a little bit. It's never a little bit of toilet paper.
You have an individual problem with bidets. I've never heard this before. It's bizarre. It is a huge difference.
I don't know. I need like a blow dryer. I need like a blow dryer after, or I'm using the same amount of toilet paper.
I think some of those like Japanese toilets have like the air dry. That's what you need then. You just need to go to the next level. I cheaped out and got the basics here.
Right. Yeah, if you kind of had like a hair dryer down there at the same time.
And I have a hair dryer. I could like plug it in for you. I would just let you keep it, but
just the one-time use.
Yeah. Or yeah. No, yeah. Anyways, that's bidets. I don't know
That's
how we
bidets for you.
There.
Okay, yeah. So think about for the guest bathroom for sure.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah. What do you got?
Oh, were you about to say something, or you just finishing up?
I just want to touch about the 2000s Resident Evil movies that we watched.
No. Hold off on the movie talk for a second. Okay, just quickly, just because this was a podcast topic. It was throughout the episode when we did the the Coke Zero protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a few episodes back. We did Coke Zero with the vanilla protein powder, kind of a different take on the thick shake. Once the originally created by Ryan Rancier.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, but it was a little bit clunky. It kind of just didn't always mix that well. So I told you, like, I took it to the next level here at home. I've got probably 6 or 8 different types of pop here, different pop zeros, diet pops, zero sugar, caffeine, whatever. And I started trying it with ice in the blender on these hot summer days. And I've actually only tried, I think I've only tried the Coke Zero, which is not just the regular Coke Zero, but Coke Zero and zero caffeine, which I think has a different taste. I think it's
Coke Zero and zero caffeine.
Yeah, because I don't
that was an
always want the
option.
caffeine, because I don't want a Coke Zero at night or even in the late afternoon. So I have some, like the mug root beers and stuff, the diet mugs, those are no caffeine and stuff. So that's nice. So I did the no caffeine Coke Zero, and I don't think it hits as hard as the regular Coke Zero. But I did that with ice and a scoop of vanilla protein powder. Pretty good. But the game changer is the Orange Crush, zero sugar, obviously, and ice and vanilla protein powder. I had it again yesterday. It is so good. It is a creamsicle type of slushy. It gets you jacked.
Is the ice bind it together? Like if you just did Orange Crush Zero and protein powder, is it not going to hit as hard?
It sounds cold.
Sounds cold.
And yeah, it helps blend it together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's key. It helps it. It's colder. It's more refreshing. Like it's having a glass of Coke versus going for a Coke slushy sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want? So it's colder on a hot summer day, more refreshing. It blends better together. It lasts longer. I tend to chug it down when it's just like regular Coke or a beer even. You put it in slush form, brain freeze, and it's thicker. It's harder to get down, and it can be kind of like filling. So if you want a little snack, I get a little snacky and try not to overeat. So, you do the zero sugar Orange Crush, a scoop of vanilla protein powder, and some ice, and it's good. It is good. That's good. I need to do the root beer still, but now I might just keep going back to the Orange Crush. It's perfect. Who doesn't love a orange creamsicle flavor?
Right. So for the listeners at home who haven't blended a carbonated beverage before, with protein powder, do you have to kind of titrate how much pop you're putting in at a time, or do you just blend that thing all up and
fucking blend it? I just put it to the limit. You saw what I made at your house. The max line is just a suggestion on those blender cups. You can go over that as long as you hold on tight. So I have like something like that. So really it's just how much you can fit. And so there's times when I overdo it. I don't have the right balance between ice and pop, and then maybe I have to leave a little bit of pop out, have some, and then either pour the pop on top or just blend it again once I bring it down a little bit. Or sometimes I just put in too much ice and it's not quite right.
So I'd like you to do a little experiment for the pod, just for the sake of my past business idea of thick shakes. Like if you blended one of these creamsicle protein drinks up and you just left it, would it separate again? Would it separate?
We left it where?
Just like in the fridge. Would it separate to a protein layer and a pop layer? Because that was the hard ceiling I came across for my experimentation. Right. Is that there would just be you get this like thin little layer of protein at the top, and then imagine that's in a can. You go to open the can, and then it's not mixed.
Yeah. No, that's a critical problem. I don't know if I will do that. We'll see. It would like melt slowly in the fridge, And so then I did think it would tend to separate. I think it would a little bit separate regardless if I left it out on the counter or in the fridge. So we'll see if I partake in that experiment. But yeah, that would be a challenge, I think.
Do it for the pod.
Yeah, we'll see. So we want to talk movies, hey?
Yeah.
You want to talk Spider-Man or?
Wow, I guess we got 3 movies to discuss here. So are we going to Are we going to spoil things when we go through Backrooms, Resident Evil, and Spider-Man? I guess it's not
Spider-Man. Yeah, if you haven't seen Spider-Man 1, 2, or 3 with Tobey Maguire, we will. Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the new Spider-Man coming out.
No, it's not out till next week.
You want to talk about the same Spider-Man we've been talking about for 8 years ago?
Okay, so now we've gone down the Spider-Man road. So obviously we're going to start with Spider-Man. So Spider-Man has been on my mind. It's been a while.
You're obsessed. You're fucking obsessed. It all started with pizza time during the pandemic, and you're like, got pizza time, and so Kurt ended up on the most played list for Spider-Man 2.
Yes, so pizza time. I had this whole montage of pizza time. I get pizza. I put on Spider-Man 2. About 15 minutes into the movie, maybe less, he shows up to the counter of the hotel or whatever, to the concierge, and says, "Pizza time." She looks back at the clock, chewing her gum. "I'm not paying for those." And he's just, well, okay. So I did that lots, but I've been off of the pizza time. I kind of just, there's only so much Spider-Man 2 a boy can watch. But you brought it up. It's been on my mind since Valhalla. It's on my mind. So last weekend, I watched Spider-Man 2 in full, and I followed up with Spider-Man 3 even. I did not watch Spider-Man 1. I don't have a grudge against Spider-Man 1. I wanted to go. I really wanted to watch Spider-Man 2. That's why I started there, and then I didn't want to go back. Also, I recall a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I watched the trilogy, and we recorded an episode, and I talked about them, and I think that was one of our lost episodes. Wow. So for the listeners,
buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. This is nearly brand new material, but it's not going to be as long as that because I did skip over Spider-Man 1. Great flick. No qualms with that one. I just wanted to highlight a couple things about these movies. Spider-Man 2 is incredible. That is a must-watch superhero movie. I was thinking it's got to be between that and The Dark Knight for best superhero movie of all time for me. And I probably have to go lean Spider-Man 2 because he is my favorite superhero. Talk about him all the time. It's so fun to watch him swing around and watch Dr. Octopus with those tentacle arms. The opening theme is so good. I did get goosebumps when it came on. It's that fast-paced little drumming, and then it goes epic. And then they're showing like kind of the scenes in the opening credits of what happened in the first movie to get you up to speed. It is unbelievable. So the music's awesome. The action is awesome. Some of it hasn't aged that great. It's it's over 20 years old now. But overall, it still looks really great. Dr. Octavius, Doc Ock, he's a great villain. His dear Rosie perished in the in the laboratory accident, and his inhibitor chip destroyed. So the tentacles kind of took over his mind for a bit. It really is a great movie. I was watching that. I was enthralled. It's a really great movie. Jonah J. Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons, he might actually steal that movie. He is so good in every scene he's in.
Parker.
I watched Spider-Man 3 after, and he's good in that too, but I don't think it compares to Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 1, I can't remember how much he's in it. Of course, Peter kind of gets the job there, I think, like partway through. But in Spider-Man 2, he steals every scene he's in. He is so good, so funny, awesome. It's just awesome. I think the one weak point of the entire like franchise, really, like as a whole, is kind of maybe the Mary Jane to Peter Parker relationship isn't always. It isn't always great. It just maybe the chemistry is not always there, but near perfect film. I hard recommend Spider-Man 2. And then just quickly on Spider-Man 3, I decided, you know what? I wanted to watch Spider-Man 3. And I kind of wanted to watch it for the music because I know that there's a couple new jingles in that one for the Black Suit and Sandman. And I kind of watched this over a couple parts. I wasn't paying as close attention to it. It really is a mess of a film. It was kind of panned when it came out, and now it's kind of praised a lot more just because it's so memeable.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good stuff, but it's mashed together. It's bloated. There's too many characters that don't have enough screen time. I think Sam Raimi was pressured he's the director of the trilogy. I think he was pressured by the studio to include Venom and didn't want to. If they cut Venom, I think that solves a lot of some of the problems.
The Sandman, Venom, New Goblin.
Yeah, so it should have been more a Sandman, New Goblin movie. I think that's maybe what he wanted originally. Like Venom kind of comes in the picture randomly, like near the last third of the movie. It feels very rushed. I don't have any issue with Topher Grace, the actor, but he plays Eddie Brock, kind of Peter's, kind of like when you had like evil Ryan or whatever your arch nemesis was.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like this evil replica of Tobey Maguire, like same stature and everything. And he's all right. It's just Eddie Brock, I feel like, should be more physically imposing, and same with Venom. And it's just rushed. A lot of the characters just aren't fleshed out enough in this one. The Mary Jane Watson, Peter Parker stuff is kind of annoying. They're at each other like the whole movie. I mean, mostly Mary Jane's pissed off at Peter, sometimes for good reason. He kind of dicks her around. It's kind of funny because at the end of Spider-Man 2, she runs off from her wedding day. She says, I want to be with Spider-Man, and runs away from her groom-to-be. And everything is perfect. It's amazing. Go get him, Tiger, she says, as he hears the sirens. Beautiful. And that's kind of how the movie ends. Immediately in the beginning of Spider-Man 3, she is pissed. She does not. She hates Peter Parker. She hates Spider-Man. So it's a complete like tonal switch up. And it's kind of miserable between those two the whole movie. I mean, even Gwen Stacy's in there. It is kind of corny at times. There's some corny writing and lines and stuff. It's just a bloaty mess. It's just unfortunate. It has some good parts. It's just the final product is a mess. But the music, I just wanted to come back to the music because that's what I started with. The Black Suit theme and the Sandman theme, also incredible. And that is what I love most about this movie, is it added these two new themes. You have that same opening credits, Randy, where they play that Spider-Man theme, and then it transitions to like the Black Suit theme, and then it transitions to the Sandman theme, all while it's showing you, here's what happened to Spider-Man 1 and 2, by the way. And I'm sitting there getting fired up, eating my popcorn, getting fired up. So, very tragic that was the end of the Tobey Maguire trilogy. Hard recommend the whole trilogy, especially Spider-Man 2, if you have not seen it. So that's the Kurt rundown on Spider-Man.
That is 2 thumbs up by Kurt. I like to picture bad boy Peter Parker as Kurt when he gets his motorcycle license. Maybe he dyes his hair black, and he just starts winking and being a bit more flirtatious around town. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so confident. He's cool. He's a nerd. It's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, something powerful.
Okay, what are we hitting next? I'm on a roll here.
Resident Evil. Let's stick with the 2000s era before we get to Backrooms.
What about Obsession? We never talked about Obsession.
Oh my God, we talked about Obsession on the trail nonstop.
I know, but on the
Oh,
pod.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do a quick rundown?
Let's do Resident Evil first. So you
Okay.
start us off with Resident Evil. We watched what?
Yeah,
the first
Resident
three?
Evil. There's nothing pisses Kurt off like going out of order, but we found a free version of Resident Evil 2 on YouTube before we watched the first one. So over the duration of the trip, we watched Resident Evil 2, then 3, then 1, and of course they have different names. But I forget how.
Yeah,
what the
Resident Evil
names are.
Uh,
Yeah, so start off with 2. You know, we can figure it out as we go. All very different movies. It seemed to go in decreasing quality. I liked 1 the most, then 2, then 3 probably. Very 2000s of them.
oh yeah.
You know, like we were talking about, like some of the makeup, like just that one character's face was just like kind of distractingly brushed, like
Airbrushed or
airbrushed.
something.
I'm not
You
sure
still
what the
see
term
that
is.
today.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, I don't know if that was Claire or her sister or friend or whatever in the third one, I
Mhm.
think, but extremely like airbrushed face. It was like,
Yeah.
that does not look good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I wish there was more. Like, I guess the second one was all about Raccoon City.
Yes.
I wish there was more time spent in Raccoon City. You know, so the first
Yeah.
one was just all underground. Like you're in this massive, massive lab. It was interesting kind of hearing about these different side characters. Kurt's talking about, yeah, this guy appears in RE3 and so on. I'm like,
Yeah, I
okay,
was catching
okay.
up on the lore.
Yeah, a little catch up. Yeah, and then they just kind of like disappear, never to be seen again, or maybe they pop up again later, or who knows. It's funny seeing it on the big screen because yeah, there's just like different arcs. Like there's all these arcs where like, is this canon? I don't think it's canon because
No, it's not.
it wasn't.
No, I
yeah,
know it's not.
Capcom. But I was confused as the like, what do I trust the game? You gotta trust the game lore over the movie lore.
They've probably, a lot of the times when it gets really messy like this, sometimes somebody at the company high up obviously will come out and kind of clarify what is and isn't canon. Otherwise, sometimes it's just word of mouth or rumors and stuff. The movies are obviously not canon. It's so loosely based on the games. The events cannot happen at the same time. There's different characters. So only one or the other really can be canon. It's the games, not these trash ass movies.
Yeah. I think if I wasn't so interested in Resident Evil, I'd be like, pass, just pass on the movies.
Well,
in
yeah,
general.
I never watched these for a reason, but
Yeah.
now that the newfound passion for Resident Evil and like a good kind of crappy movie to watch at your place fit.
Yeah, so there's 6. I think we discovered there were 6 Resident Evil movies in this franchise.
Yeah,
or these
way more than I
characters.
thought.
Yeah, so we got through 3 of them. Maybe we'll get to 4, 5, 6 one day.
I want to get into. I do want to get into the new one, more recent ones, because I thought they do introduce more Resident Evil characters like Chris and maybe Leon. So I want to see their take because we saw Jill, we saw Claire Redfield, we saw Wesker, we saw Carlos, which is one of those characters you didn't know, but he's in RE3. We saw Nemesis in the Resident Evil 2 movie, which is the big mutant baddie. So they have different characters they mix in, but I think they are bringing in more later on. And so even if the film quality keeps going down, that brings me back in.
Yeah, there's almost a point I think in Kurt's movie watching review where it gets so bad that it's good. Like you kind of like that, where it's just chaos. There's like a mid-level where you're like, but like if it's down in the gutters, then it's almost better.
Yeah, because it's like that self-awareness. Like the first 2 or 3, I think they're trying to make a decent movie, and They're not really. I liked Resident Evil 1, the movie might have been a better film. It probably was a better film than the other two. But maybe it's because we watched it first. Maybe it's because of the Raccoon City. But I thought Resident Evil 2 was more entertaining. And I think it was the Raccoon City. I don't want to be watching a Resident Evil movie where you're in an underground bunker. Like, I rarely want to watch any movie or show where it's like a bottle episode or anything where you're isolated to like one environment. It's the same reason like people kind of complain about like sewer levels that are like prominent in Resident Evil games and other video games. It's like the most boring environment, and you decide to put a large portion of your movie or game here. It's like, why? Like Raccoon City, when the zombie outbreak is happening, is far more interesting. So I did like that. I also like when she like I don't even know her character's name. But she rides in on a motorcycle and like jumps off it. It blows it up and kills a couple lickers. Like awesome. You're like, she's immediately like super powered. We're like, who is this Superwoman here? When we're watching Resident Evil 2, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good time. But yeah, the third one was kind of for me like, yeah, they're in the desert and there's this caravan and they're on the road and they're going to try and get to Alaska, which is some far-fetched plan that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we're gonna catch a helicopter out of the desert and get all the way to Alaska. Like, sure.
So they in Resident Evil
they just kind of stay in the desert the whole time. And at that point, I'm losing the plot. People are in the caravan are dying left, right, and center, and I don't really care about them too much. And neither does the rest of the cast, seemingly. Like it's just that
one. Yeah, it was kind of similar to the first one in that it was in the same environment. But that one was so uninspired, maybe. It just felt like it was like for budgetary reasons, let's just fucking film this whole thing in the desert. And at that point, the quality has already dipped significantly in the acting and the writing and everything. And then you put it in just a boring desert. And it's really easy to lose interest. And their plan, they're like, all right, everyone, let's take a vote. Either we stay here or we go to Alaska. And they're like, oh, let's go to Alaska. And then 5 minutes later, their first stop, they all die.
Just everyone but the main character is dead.
Yeah, actually, I don't even remember what happened to Claire Redfield. She survived, right?
Yes.
Carlos died. He
that was
died.
A big death. They tried to do it kind of like Dom in Gears of War with like self-sacrificial driving a truck.
Yeah.
Look at us now, Maria. And then he blows himself up. Kind of similar thing.
Yeah, so because Carlos was in Resident Evil 2 movie, I think. So he carried over, but then Jill did not for some reason. That bothered me.
Yeah, that's the part where where's Jill Valentine? Like, one of the main characters.
Yeah, so maybe over the next decade we'll finish off the rest of them. But as I sent to you, there's a new Resident Evil movie coming out in September. I don't think it's gonna be. I watched the new trailer and there's some throwbacks to the game in terms of just how he finds a shotgun and he's searching for shotgun shells and a typewriter, things like that are references to the games. I don't think it's going to be really I don't think it's going to pull a lot from the games. Maybe I'll be surprised because this director does some crazy things sometimes in his movies in the back half or near the end. So maybe it'll go off the rails and Leon Kennedy will come in and do a backflip or something, maybe. But I think it'll be more of a straightforward horror. I'm not saying it won't be good or crazy. I think it will be, but more straightforward horror. And that one, I thought I read a while ago, that one might actually be canon. I think it takes place over, because it involves Raccoon City, name dropped in the trailer. I think it takes place on that same outbreak night. And if they just play it straight, it could still be canon and just be an isolated character, an event. He's just some delivery guy. So that one could be canon, folks.
Stay tuned. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. It'd be great to watch it with you if the stars align in September. Does that feel complete before we get to Backrooms?
Yeah, let's do Obsession real
Oh,
quick.
Obsession. Okay, 4 movies.
And we don't have to go deep because it's been out for a while and we talked about it on the hike. But
Yes.
we'll do spoilers for Obsession and Backrooms. So two of the hottest horror films of the year by like, I would say, I don't know the full history of these guys, but like young and up and coming directors. Like the Obsession director is like a sketch comedy guy with his so Bear's best friend in the movie is also like partnered with the director, like doing these sketch things. So really awesome. Like, and it was critically acclaimed, obviously took off like crazy, spread like a wildfire through word of mouth. But both of us, I think, much scarier than expected.
Yeah. There was a point where like, Nikki's kind of standing in the corner watching Bear sleep, and I didn't really see her at first. It scared the shit out of me, but I really liked, the cinematography was great. Like you just can't see Nikki's face a lot of times, and she's kind of she's going absolutely insane, and it's really hard to watch at moments, even for me. I had to just turn away.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I was scared and creeped out for sure. I was a bit I was warned by somebody that it was scary. I was like, kind of like, we'll see about that. I think maybe I watched a trailer a long time ago and then I kind of avoided it. Once I heard it was like good, you try and stay away because those movies, especially those kind of horror, weird movies, the less you know, the better. Same with Backrooms, right? And this person wasn't wrong. Like it was scary. It wasn't like, for me, I get more scared at some other stuff. There were times in Backrooms where I was more scared, probably in suspense, but I'm not sure which one overall I would say is scarier. But like I get scared more like with like more paranormal stuff, I would say, than the obsessive girlfriend. And then also just the layer added, because I thought basically crazy girlfriend, crazy ex, careful what you wish for, she's crazy. And the layer that she was kind of like possessed, I didn't expect that, and I like that because then it adds another layer of horror on her side, is that there's moments when you kind of connect with the real Nikki, or she's talking or screaming out, and you can kind of understand the horror she's going through from her side, and I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, it was quite good. And I fear for these movies sometimes because I'm like usually like obviously in the know. I'm a big movie guy, so I kind of know what's coming out, what's supposed to be good. And so I heard so much about this movie. When that happens, it has a hard time living up to the hype for me. I would say it probably didn't fall far off. I tried to keep myself in the dark, and I really enjoyed it throughout.
Yeah, agreed. I thought the funny, like low-key funny part was that like I think both of us had heard lines from Nikki at like different relationships in our past. Like there was a line where it's like, "I think I love you more than you love me," and I'm like, "Fuck, I've heard that one before."
Yeah. I mean, and those are the lines that were going like viral on like Instagram reels and stuff like that, and people were just putting random captions on that stuff. Same with the dinner scene when I thought we were having a nice night. It is. It did. I think a lot of people can relate on some level. Obviously, this is. There's a lot more going on, and this is to a crazy degree. But I liked it.
Yeah, Bear still really wanted to make it work after so much shit. Like he was really like, there was up until the 11th hour, he was really trying to make this work.
Yeah, yeah, he was committed for sure. But I think a part of that has to be fear. Like shit, she was feeding him his cat, things like that, duct taping the door, like the random demonic witchy movements in the dark of the night, walking backwards at one point. Like she was doing some crazy shit that would freak you the F out. So
yeah, and I gotta talk about my little theory at the end. Spoiler, when he like OD'd. Part of me, I think I told this with Kurt, and I still haven't looked it up yet, but yeah, when he took his medications for the first time in days, seemingly, it's like the camera did this little distortion, and it almost looked like things were back to normal. So part of me thinks, was he just off his meds and experiencing like a crazy psychosis? And that, yeah, when he OD'd, it just shifted everything back to normal. Like, was this all in his head because he wasn't medicated? In the first few minutes, you see a bunch of pills in the bathroom cabinet. You know, his cat actually died because it got access to those pills, and he never takes them again until the end of the movie when he dies.
I
And it
still
just
don't
makes
think
me
he
think
take them at the beginning of the movie. I didn't.
Well, maybe that
rewatch
was
it,
maybe that was the problem, is that that's the day it started when he didn't take
Yeah, I gotta say, I hate that theory. It makes the
Mhm.
movie way worse if that were true, and I also don't think it's real. I think the camera shift was, again, I never went back and rewatched any of these scenes unless it was like an Instagram meme, but she wished for him to love her at the end, so that was probably the camera shift that you're looking at. Is then he's possessed basically, and then he dies though because he already took the pills. So.
Mm.
I did see one thing is that I think this is pretty common. They film multiple endings. So I don't know if this was the original ending or if they were just, let's do two and then see how audiences react. But they had filmed it where she kills herself at the end. And there's still like blood on the ceiling that apparently you can see from when they filmed that version of the ending.
Huh.
So that was kind of cool. But I really liked the ending because it's really freaking dark and her life is fucking over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's just sobbing as the credits roll because basically everyone's dead and she's probably going to jail, and maybe even worse because how is she going to explain any of this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what happens to all that guy's money that he wished for? His best friend?
$1
Is that just in his house still?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Nikki's now.
Why would it be Nikki's?
Finders keepers.
Well, she didn't. Why would you go over there?
Well, wasn't it? Oh no, it's in his best friend's house. Yeah, I
his
thought
best
it was
friend's
in
house.
Bear's house. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it goes through his estate. A lot of tax issues right there. people.
I guess
Let
so.
me tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Backrooms. Off the top, did you find Backrooms or Obsession scarier?
Well, I just mentioned in the previous review, there were times. I think overall, Obsession was scarier, but there were times when I think I was more scared. Some of the, I guess it was probably the first person camera perspective scenes. I was scared. Like right at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, oh shit! Like what's happening here?
The guy in the hazmat suit, that was a great hook.
Yeah, and then when when shit hits the fan, when he fucks over his student workers and brings them in to die, that was kind of scary. You're waiting for something to happen too, and then there were some other scenes. So I think there were like glimpses. There were short periods where it was scarier, but I think as a whole, probably Obsession was scarier. Just before you get into it, I just wanted to say, so with Backrooms, and so I looked into it a little bit further. But I mean, this kid was 20 years old, the director, when it came out. Awesome. Now he's 21. I looked into Backrooms a bit more as a whole. I had heard of it before this movie, and it basically just started as one of those like eerie images on like 4chan, where they just post this shit. So it turned into this creepypasta, this internet term, if people aren't plugged in like us podcast hosts. But there was this Backrooms image that was posted. It's just one of those unsettling, weird images, and for some reason it's kind of creepy. And then from there, it just took off. Like people developed like lore, they developed video games, and so this director directed. He's still making these, but he's made these like his own like video short film like series. And I never went back and watched them, but apparently there's at least another one coming out in the next few months or by next year. But he started just directing these short films, and then all of a sudden he's got this movie deal, and that's where we're at. So just a kid.
Just a kid. Way to be. Way to fucking be. Yeah, that's incredible.
Okay, no, sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I was looking at I was hearing noises, and it was throwing me off. I wasn't sure if somebody's mowing their lawn at your place or
someone. I hear some kind of lawn work going on back there.
At first I thought you had like you were like got bored and just turned on like a video or something. And then I was looking at your mic and I was like, oh, does he have it backwards again? But no, that looks like the right way. No, okay, so go on with your Backrooms experience.
Yeah, Backrooms. I think the scariest part was this Christmas tree room. You kind of stumble into this Christmas tree, and there's something about that little dude in the wheelchair that really scared me, startled me. And I'm gonna connect this back to Resident Evil 7, the video game that Kurt hasn't got to yet. There's a scene where you're in this. It's kind of like a famous scene, I think, for the video game where you're having dinner with essentially the bad guys, like they're zombies at this point, and it's exactly like the setup of the dinner scene in Backrooms. Like it totally reminded me of that. You're being served this crazy shit. The guests, like there's people, there's someone in a wheelchair, like in RE7, there's the Gran who's in a wheelchair, who's kind of just hanging in the background. Everything's disgusting. You're worried about offending your host, but you're like tied up in the chair. Like, yeah, lots of parallels there. So I'm curious if the director was ever inspired by RE7, because I think they came around the same time ish. And yeah, I was stressed. I was very, very stressed throughout. I always got to try and find a hot take on here. The only thing, kind of like me trying to connect the dots with Bear ODing at the end of Obsession, the therapist in Backrooms, her character is just like, okay, it's interesting that she's the one that survives the longest. And, is it because she's relating to all these different parts from, I forget the main guy's name, Clark. She's like, so she's a therapist, and she has this moment where she's like, has this realization, like, I can't fix you. Like, I don't know what the fuck you should do, Clark, to fix yourself. And I think it's like she's kind of in the room with all these different parts of Clark, in a weird way, or memories. Like, yeah, it's just like in the end, she becomes one of these fucked up characters too, right? So is it just trying to represent Clark's memory? Like he's remembering someone in the wheelchair, or this woman, or this old fat guy, or, the big pirate version of himself. And then at the end she dies, and she becomes one of these characters. So is it all just like,
she doesn't die,
representing Clark's mind? Oh, maybe she doesn't die, but she has a person who's in the back rooms.
Yeah.
That's just the memory. You don't like that either. Okay.
No, it's everyone's memories.
You say everyone's, but it felt like,
or at least the people that go there. You can see that at the end, because then it takes, obviously it's taking kind of inspiration from his furniture store, and then it's taken inspiration from like her childhood home. Mm-hmm. She had that concrete handprint. So, basically Backrooms, let me go way back to the start of the movie. Captain Clark kind of owns this furniture store, and he finds this mysterious back rooms. Like whose rooms are these, right? And it's weird because he just passes through a wall. So Very strange, obviously, right off the bat. He's going to therapy at the same time. He's seeing that therapist that you talked about. He yells. He's a guy who yells. Yells at his wife, his ex-wife who kicked him out of the house, and he's still pissed about that. Yeah. He sleeps at the furniture store. He drinks every night, and the lights always flicker. He wonders what the fuck is going on with the breaker. He wanders down there, wanders through a wall because there's like a glint of light in the wall. So he sticks his hand in there and he passes through the wall, and he's in these back rooms. And it is, what did he describe? It's like describing a dog to someone and then asking that's never seen one and then asking them to draw it. So everything's off. Like, it's just not how you would lay out an office space or a store or anything. Everything's weird. And like the stop sign, there's random objects in there, right? So there's a stop sign that's like pots, I don't know, like it's spelled wrong. There's like couches partially in the ground. There's like stools and chairs stuck together. And it's really weird and eerie, and seemingly endless. So he keeps wandering around. Sorry, I was getting an echo. That fucking lawnmower is like, it's really distracting.
Yeah, I'll mute myself when I'm not talking here.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. That lawnmower is Randy's neighbors there. But so the film switches perspective from like found footage style from, you've all seen Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch Project or something. So it's shot from a video camera, like we talked about that hazmat suit guy, and then just like normal film perspective. And so anyways, Clark wanders through this furniture store. It's kind of weird. Nothing really crazy happens. Maybe someone or something's in there he notices, right? Kind of spooky. He decides, what would be a good idea? These two like part-time kids that are on their day off, why don't I bring them with me? They can film this shit. There might be something in there. Something definitely smashed a sign that was in there. It scared me enough to get the hell out of there. But let me bring these two kids back with a camera, a couple potheads, and then I'll show my therapist that I'm not crazy. Because I told her about these back rooms. She thinks I'm even more delusional than before. So let me get these kids. So I was surprised. Obviously, I wasn't surprised the kids died, or at least one of them, like that stoner kid. He was made to die. I was surprised how fast both of them died. I guess actually I should circle back to the point you made about the ending. I mean, the ending, they kind of talk about it through near the end, though. It's like the back rooms are kind of like memories in general, and it's not Clark. You can just see it through like the stop sign and the childhood home and these other people. I guess that I don't know if they're people that have been there or something, but it's grabbing people's memories and like misremembering. And there's a scene where it like goes lower and lower down to the back rooms, and the memory gets worse and worse of a room. And then all of a sudden there's like a couch that's partially in the wall, and then there's like no couches, and there's like an upside down stool, and then there's like a crack in the wall, and then it's just like an empty room, and then it's like an empty room with a hole in the wall. So it like, the further you kind of go down these back rooms, the more it like misremembers. It's kind of like my memory. It's a little fuzzy now in my old age, but it's not just his memories. I think it's pretty safe to say it's not just his memories, although he did come up with this pirate Clark, which was a real monster in this film. So I guess I wanted to ask you though, there's a couple things, because I think they made a couple decisions here that really changed how people felt. No, your mic's still messed up, but
what do you mean? What's wrong?
It's like repeating. I hear my own voice.
Oh God.
It's almost like you have sound coming out of your laptop as well.
Huh. Yeah, it sounds, everything's normal on my end here, buddy.
Maybe you check that it's using your mic right now and not just
I from the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Not one of those early moments. Yeah. Yeti stereo microphone. Yep, you got it.
Sure, guys. This is a live show. We're just
Oh,
producing on the fly.
how's that? Any better?
Let me talk. It seems better right now. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay. I think something was going on with the speaker. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Excuse
yeah.
me, everyone.
Okay.
We're back.
So they make a couple critical decisions, creative decisions. First, they decide to kind of just sprinkle in the found footage. There seems to be a lot of people out there that think it would have been a better movie if they just gone all in on the found footage. Those certainly were the most tense and scariest parts, I think. My argument would be that maybe it falls more into a generic film when it does that, because I feel like a lot of found footage films or the horror films are kind of much of the same, but the sequences were good. So maybe if they did lean into it, it would have been really cool and scary. The other main thing is that they don't spend enough time exploring the back rooms. They spend, I don't know what it was, half the movie where he's kind of in and out of his therapist's office and then going into the back rooms. I mentioned how they killed those kids off immediately. And then it really takes a shift because then it's like a time jump, dinner scene. Clark's fucking crazy. So they don't show the back rooms that much after that. And then I just thought of a third one is revealing kind of the monster, which is a big one, which I appreciate because it is kind of, you're so curious. You want to see what this monster looks like. But at the same time, the monster reveal is almost always a letdown. And I don't know how I feel about this particular monster. I liked that it was weird and unique, but in some ways it can't help but be a letdown. So if you caught any of that, I'd like to hear what you thought.
Yeah, I really agree with most of that. I wish I got to see more of Clark's breaking point.
That was totally off screen.
Yeah, like what did he see that really make him want to stay in the back rooms? Like we know his life was shit outside and all that, but yeah, and how did he come to befriend these other scary characters who we know the pirate was killing people, but like could the others have been killing people too? So how did he get to befriend the pirate version of himself?
Yeah, I don't know exactly because there's like before it does that like cut in like scene cut time jump. There's something seemingly the pirate picks up his camera and then I think it's like Kate or something. She's like on the other side of this wall and yelling. She can see through it. It's like a one-way glass and is like, Clark, look behind you, as the pirate or something else picks up this camera. You have no idea what happened there. You have no idea what happened to her other than her head fell off and it's in his freezer. You don't know where he eats or poops. I saw people suggest a poop corner. He made a phone call to his therapist at some point. Has he been exiting the back rooms periodically to make phone calls and poop and eat? Or is he eating the stuffing from the bodies and pooping in the corners?
These are all the important questions, aren't they?
Right. Did you ever consider the poop?
And I didn't think about the poop situation. Yeah, I just assumed that there was a back room full of toilets.
Is it toilet paper? Are there bidets?
Yeah, I fucking hope so. Infinite rooms. What about you? Got to find one good shitter.
I think I don't know. Like I have mixed feelings. I think I would have liked to see more of the back rooms. I don't necessarily agree that it needed to be all found footage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree that those are the scariest parts. That was the handheld camera.
But I didn't necessarily need it to be that all the way through. And then the monster reveal, I have such mixed feelings about the monster reveal. Like it is cool in a way. It feels very unique. You've got this 7-foot pirate monster following you around, but it does take a lot of the horror and tension out once you get used to them.
Once it wasn't as scary post reveal.
And that guy is played by a former basketball player. And I think he played some kind of alien hybrid in the most recent Alien movie too. So he's found a niche where he plays really tall, monster humanoid type things.
Right. Good for him.
So good for him. But I liked it a lot. I don't. There was something off. Like I think that final act has really caught a lot of people when I was looking into it, as it turned a lot of people off. I didn't hate it. I just wonder if there was something better there. And there are a lot of questions, which I don't mind. Like this is the type of thing where I don't need everything questioned. Who started Backrooms and stuff? You want some mystery here, but there are a lot of questions about the when he went crazy. The whole time jump just started a lot. You start asking a lot of questions. And what happened to Kate, if that is her name?
Mm-hmm.
The poop corner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The poop corner. Agreed. Good flick. I think Backrooms. I think Obsession was scarier and more. Yeah, I think it was my favorite over Backrooms.
Yeah, I feel like most people would say the same too. I think if like Backrooms was definitely weirder,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and more. I mean, it's based on like internet lore, and it's just
so
like
internet lore kind of reminded me of Severance in some ways too. But yeah, still very
Obsession was
incredibly
more
original.
accessible, I think, for the average fan. I would agree with that. I would like to see more Backrooms, a sequel or something. I don't know. So yeah, I think it was really cool. I was definitely intrigued. I'm still sitting with that one and how it went and wondering if there's a better version out there slightly, but good film. So congrats to those directors. We'll have to have them on the pod this year or maybe next year.
Bring them on after their big circuit.
Okay, what movie is next? Do you want to discuss?
Oh gosh, I haven't thought that far ahead and just been in the wormhole here. Of course, there's some big movies coming to the box office. And
yeah, the Odyssey.
Yeah,
is out.
It could be an Odyssey weekend. It could, because it's just everything's kind of smoky, and I want to be in an air-conditioned, cool, clean room.
Not a bad idea, actually. And then, yeah, I might have to go see Spider-Man in theaters. I don't know if it'll be the first day, but that I think comes out July 31st. Maybe I'll just have to go on a Friday afternoon. We'll see.
Yeah, Odyssey Spider-Man doubleheader.
Oh,
this summer is Barbenheimer.
I saw somebody on like Reddit, his tongue like melted off because he ate too many Sour Patch Kids. That would be like me if I did a doubleheader. I'd be eating all these candies and popcorns and pop, but that's too much. That's too much movie. I mean, I don't know. The Odyssey, they're talking about like the 70 mil IMAX format. I don't really know what it is, but it's like a bigger screen. That's the way to watch it. That's the type of movie I would watch at home. Wait to watch it home just because I think it's long. Like all those movies are so long nowadays. But we'll see. If I had to pick one, I got to go with my boy Spidey, but I guess if it turns out to be terrible, maybe I won't be.
Yeah. He's not my Spider-Man.
They're all my Spider-Man. See ya, folks. Good night.